Imagine you're a writer sitting at home, deep in focus and writing a novel, which is turning out to be a masterpiece. But just when you reach for that final paragraph, you hear your baby crying at the top of their voice. You try to be resilient, you maintain your focus, but then you realize that the noise is creeping in, and now you need to tend to your child. Now, this is something similar what happens in this new computing paradigm called quantum computing. Imagine these computers, if you will, as yourselves, but instead of having two hands, you have multiple hands, just like our friend Laura over here. Now, these multiple hands, let's call them qubits, work in perfect harmony to achieve tasks much faster and much more efficiently than we can only dream of. That novel that you were writing, this computer can finish in minutes. But just like these babies' cries, these computers are prone to noise from its environment. Now, in the presence of this noise, these hands, these qubits, lose their coordination and lose their ability to perform tasks at that fast rate. That novel, which it could complete in minutes, now takes hours, or worse, it could be complete gibberish. Now, this is the status quo of the community today. Millions of dollars are being poured by companies into correcting and mitigating these errors. But hold on, why is this a distraction? Why are we calling noise a detriment? Can it actually be useful? This is where my research comes in. I'm trying to employ techniques where the theory of physics and mathematics tells us that noise has an inherent randomness attached to it. And sometimes this noise can solve complicated problems with so much more ease. You don't believe me, do you? Well, imagine a room full of mosquitoes. Swatting each of these mosquitoes one by one may take forever. But if you take our baby, who's crying and flailing his hands in the air randomly, and hand him the racket, he might just do a better job. I'm trying to employ this technique similarly in my research. I'm trying to understand what kinds of noise affect these computers, what its implications are, and then understand how and figure out how this randomness I can employ and serve my purpose. Now, what purpose, you may ask? Well, imagine simulating pharmaceutical compounds and biological macromolecules, understanding how these tiny but millions of compounds present in our body interact with one another and fight off diseases. Now, this field of computing is called quantum simulations, and the reason this is a challenging aspect is because current computers cannot deal with such a big computational load. These are millions and millions of tiny particles interacting with one another. These computers can make it possible and can fight diseases in a much more proactive way. So the next time you sit in a flight and you hear a baby crying, think to yourself, why can't this noise be useful? Thank you.